Sleepers back. Start 5. Memorial Day edition. Hello, Cart. How are you? I know you're very hot from our conversation.
If I sound a little stuffed up right now, it's because I slept with at least 5 fans in my bedroom and on my face. Our AC unit went out yesterday. I got somebody coming to check it today, but it felt like I slept in an air fryer. So it's a little toasty over at the Elliott household right now, which is why I'm wearing this tank, because I don't want to sweat.
You're no stranger to adversity. I'm proud of you for playing through it yet again. Kudos.
Is the AC on at your house, Greg?
It's actually on too much. I don't mean to be an asshle, but
you're chilly.
These are real goosebumps on the arm right here.
Okay.
Is the globe doing okay? Globe's not melting, right?
Oh no, globe's built different.
Okay, thank God.
No matter what chaos happens in this household, the globe will stay and always be its true self.
Thank God. We're in this weird little window in the off season. I feel like we hit every off season where it sort of feels like a dead period. Like things are happening in college basketball, but nothing super noteworthy. And then everyone's just sort of waiting around for the NBA draft. Obviously, the NBA finals are going on. So we have a couple Big Ten specific college items to attend to at the top, and then we'll get into more NBA stuff, since that is the news of the day right now. But first, Cart, this is the one segment I'm pretty excited for, or maybe nervous for. We need to talk about Illinois. We have to talk about Illinois. The Fighting Illini right now, to my eye, are owning the Big Ten Conference, Cart. They're coming off of a regular season championship. The year before, they won the Big Ten tournament championship and arguably felt that they deserved the regular season champ. COVID kind of cut some things short. Everybody knows what happened there. They've been the best program the last 2 seasons in the Big Ten, in my opinion. Now, I understand that March is the big argument there. They can't win in March. They haven't made a Sweet 16 in March. Yada, yada, yada. I get it. I make as many jokes as anybody about that. But this is a simple fact, Cart, that 2 years ago, they lost to a top 10 team in the country in Loyola, who was an 8 seed in the round of 32. And then
should have never been. So
last year, they lost to the 3rd best team in the country, who was a 5 seed. They've gotten horrible draws. And at some point, they're not going to get a horrible draw. And Brad Underwood keeps putting together team of killers after team of killers. And as a Michigan fan who hasn't beaten Illinois in 7 tries, I'm terrified of that. Now, it's specific to the news right now, Cart. Matthew Mayer commits to Illinois. Baylor, I guess, forward, wing, guard, and nobody really knows. He's like a 6'8" guard, right? He was a 6th man on the national title team, had a lot of promise. Everybody thought he could be like a 15-a-game scorer. This last season didn't go very well for him. He was not one of their 4 best players on a good, not great Baylor team. There are questions about how good he can be as a 1st or 2nd option. He goes to Illinois along with Terrence Shannon in what I would consider the best transfer class in the country. You had 2 guys who, in my opinion, are top 10 talents in the portal to start at somewhere between the 2, 3, 4 spot. That's nasty. And what I'm frustrated with, Cart, is that all I see from Michigan fans is downplaying these ads. It's, they're not really needle movers. It's fine. They still got questions. You know what? If Terrence Shannon and Matthew Mayer committed to Michigan, we would be dancing in the fucking streets, Cart. Okay.
Yeah, you guys were pre-dancing, a little premature dancing for Terrence Shannon until admissions came in and said, leave some space for Jesus, like it's a 5th grade school dance. I don't, the whole downplaying thing, just to comment on that before you finish your thought, is not something I think that should be put in the factor. I think the only reason they're downplayed is because it is Illinois. And I use this analogy, cross sport kind of reference here. It might not fit, but even though the tournament success isn't there, like you said, you got to respect the regular season. Manchester City Soccer Club. The current Premier League champs get some slander because they don't finish in the Champions League and win a Champions League title. But that doesn't take away from what they do domestically in winning the league that they're in. Illinois is doing that. Illinois has been, like you said, a dominant regular season Big Ten team these past couple of years, and I'm confident with saying that. So they do need to deserve the respect. I will not refer to their coach as Daddy Brad.
I will. Let's talk about
your own father's birthday is tomorrow, and you're calling this man Daddy Brad.
Listen, when Brad Underwood tells me be home by 8 p.m., I'm home by 8 p.m. Okay. When Brad Underwood tells me go clean my room, that thing is shiny clean. Okay. I'm terrified of this man. He owns me. I'm not saying he owns my team. I'm not saying he owns me. Pause. You can pause that. He owns me. Okay. I'm terrified of him. He is the only coach in the Big Ten, Cart, that is dominating the portal era. And we can talk about why that is. We can talk about if there's different institutional factors that play in there. But this is what I know.
The disrespect for Coach Hoiberg. He's been transfer portal gang. Not necessarily saying it's moving the needle, but my guy's been in the portal.
But there's mixes here, right? You have to be able to recruit high school guys in this era. You have to be able to recruit the best portal guys in this era. You have to be able to maneuver your roster in and out of ups and downs from season to season. You need to be able to go from saying Andre Curbelo is the best point guard in the country to, oh my God, that was a disaster midseason. Let me course correct that, still win a championship, and then get him out and get somebody new next season. Brad Underwood's the only person in this conference who can navigate that, okay? Tom Izzo, falling behind, falling asleep at the wheel. Juwan Howard, not doing this as masterfully as Brad Underwood is. And I know Michigan fans aren't going to want to hear that. And he's been way more successful in March. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But look, we lost Shannon to Illinois quickly. Right now, we've been told Michigan contacted Malachi Smith and Pete Nance, but they're just sort of waiting around with 2 scholarships open for Caleb Houston and Moussa Diabate to inevitably say they're going to the NBA, and then they're going to what? Go get Pete Nance over every school in the country who wants Pete Nance with Michigan's issues, with admissions, with NIL? That's not happening, okay? Illinois is the only school in the Big Ten who can go toe-to-toe with anyone and get guys. And that's what Brad Underwood has proven. Matt Painter can't do it. Tom Izzo can't do it. Juwan Howard seemingly can't do it. Chris Holtman, nobody else in the conference can do it. So, yeah, that should be terrifying because if Illinois already is here, they are already here as far as regular season success in this portal era that everyone's still learning. The trajectory is going here from already at the top, and everybody else is going down. And that's terrifying. Daddy Brad owns us.
Daddy, okay. Never will refer to that man as Daddy Brad. But to the point of their additions and what they're doing in the portal, I mean, you can't deny it. They're making great moves. They added 2, like you said, what I consider 2 of the best transfer wings in the country. And yes, I say wings with Mayer. I think Mayer is a wing. I thought that they needed to add a lead guard possibly. I got a lot of faith that Sky Clark is going to be really good. Jay Nepps is another good freshman they got coming in. I think they got some guys that can do it, but say what you want. They did lose Curbelo. That's a guy that did have the ball in his hands. It's just a lot to put all of that on a freshman PG who's coming off injury and hasn't necessarily got back in the groove or found his groove yet. So I thought having another guard to take the pressure off him would be great, but like the Illinois wings, they're set. Like Terrence Shannon, they're good.
Dude,
Mayer, good. Melendez takes a step.
They're the best in the country. It's not set. They are the best in the country at the 2 through 4. Shannon, Meyer, Melendez, Goody. Grandison's now theoretically back. Ty Rogers. I know I'm missing somebody else. Coleman Hawkins. That's 7 guys who are really good players at the 2 through 4.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to say it's the best though. There's definitely
the best in the country. Who's better? Who's better at those 3 spots?
Well, you keep talking. I'm gonna think about it, but there's got to be somebody better than that.
No, there's not. Because here's the thing, and I've been fighting Michigan fans who are being super hypocritical about this shit for 3 days now. But the guys for Illinois who need to take leaps, like Melendez, like Goody, who looked really good in the NCAA tournament, by the way. Those guys are now in positions where if they don't take leaps, if they're just horrible, Illinois starts Shannon, Meyer, Grandison, and or Hawkins at the 2, 3, 4. And they're fine. They don't even need to play them. But if Melendez takes some massive jump, like a Johnny Davis-esque sophomore leap,
whoa,
it's not out of the question. I really, really like RJ Melendez. And if he becomes a potential all Big Ten guy as a sophomore, now you're just dominant, okay? Whereas Michigan, right now, Kobe Buffkin has to play 35 minutes at the 2 card. And I went from the biggest Kobe Buffkin fan on earth to the only one with a brain talking about this kid.
Oh, I got a better 2 through 4 for you.
Oh.
You got Tyson Walker, Jaden Akins, Malik Hall.
Stop it. I hate you.
Joseph Jamal Hauser.
I hate this. We're really look for another day.
So wait, so just before we move on, so Illinois is your favorite to win the Big Ten now? Or you stick with Indiana?
I think they're neck and neck with Indiana. The only thing that I'd probably have Illinois 1A, Indiana 1B. The only thing that has them, I guess, behind and not clearly the favorite, because Daddy Brad's a way better coach than Mike Underwood or than Mike Woodson. I'm scared of their center spot. I'm not super scared of the point guard spot. Although if Sky Clark's first name was Justin, if he was Justin Clark, nobody would want him to start at point guard for Illinois. But because he's going to wear 53 and he has the hair and 2
55
Y's his first name. I thought it was 53.
55.
He has like the swag and the apparel like in an open gym of like someone in 2011 though. That's a really good sign. So I like what they have at guard, because even if Sky Clark's just like a role guy, I think they can survive with like Grandison and all those wings just on the court together. They have enough answers at guard. They'll figure it out. I'm scared of center because they've been so reliant on Kofi Coburn that I don't know what they look like post him. And I'm not in on Dane Danger as a 30-minute guy.
Yeah, me either. The Dane Danger thing is something that Illinois fans are extremely, of course, excited about, but I got to see it.
Yeah. I mean, the alternative, though, again, Coleman Hawkins just slides to the 5 and they play small ball and they're nasty.
Yeah, but every time I bring up Coleman Hawkins at the 5, I get my head bit off.
From Illinois fans?
Or just maybe not Illinois fans necessarily, but just people in general.
I mean, we should say, like, we're in that group chat with a lot of the national writers, and I posed the question as soon as Meyer committed and said, does Illinois have the best 2, 3, 4 in the country? And I got my head bit off, specifically from Jeff Borzello, who named like 13 teams he would take over Illinois. Now, I think he's being harsh. I truly think Illinois is that good at those 3 spots. But apparently the national people aren't as in on them as we are.
Still sticking strong with Indiana as the favorite, but it's a lot closer now. And Illinois solidified themselves in the 2 spot, whereas before I kind of had them like they could compete. So
I think Xavier Johnson's better than Sky Clark. So that's 1 point Indiana, right?
Yes.
I would take Terrence Shannon over Tamar Bates. That's a point Illinois. Don't do that. Matthew Meyer, or is that Hood Schifino?
Yeah.
I think I'd take Meyer for next season.
I might take Hood Schifino.
We'll call that a tie. 1.5, 1.5. Are we going?
Yeah, it's race probably.
Race versus.
Oh, sorry, no. At the 3, it's probably.
Or no, at the 4.
4. 4. Yeah, 4 is race.
Race versus Hawkins. We're taking Hawkins.
We're not buying into the Race Thompson propaganda.
We're not buying into the race, and then TJD wins over whoever's at the 5 for Illinois. But I'm giving Illinois' bench massive points. Like I'm taking Melendez, Goody, all those dudes over Indiana's bench. Talking through it like that makes me think Illinois is the clear favorite.
Yeah, honestly, talking through it like that makes me think that Illinois. Damn it,
Daddy Brad, man, Dad Underwood, he's doing what he does, man. He says, don't date my daughter. I don't do it. I won't do it, sir. Firm handshake. Let's move on. Let's move back to one of our teams, Michigan State. For those of you listening to this that don't already know who Michigan State's assistant coach is going to be, listen to our Spotify live rooms. We do these every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. Carter's always with me, usually on Wednesdays. But we broke some news last week. We broke who the Michigan State assistant coach is expected to be. Jeff Goodman came in and confirmed this. We've heard behind the scenes that this has been a done deal. It just hasn't been formally announced. Cart, do you want to share who the name is, please?
And the new assistant coach of the Michigan State Spartans will be actually former Spartan Thomas Kelly. Do
you like that?
Who I just want to say, I do like this hire. I think he's a younger guy. He's a guy I've actually had the pleasure of talking to and meeting before. I think he's a really good guy. I think he knows his basketball. I think he's really good, especially on the skill development part. I think that was a big part of what he does on basketball staffs and outside of basketball is he does a lot of skill development work. I think he has a lot of connections, obviously playing at MSU. And I think just in general, he has good connections, with the circuit, guys on the circuit, things like that. So, younger guy, I like the hire all in all.
Yeah. And we should, I guess, say, if something changes in the 11th hour, like that's certainly possible. This hasn't been announced. Maybe there's a reason for that, but all of the people who would know have been told. And beyond Goodman, who I mentioned, there's another trusted source that also separately told us he heard TK is done deal. I like TK a lot. I'm a big fan of his. I've gotten to know him just virtually on social media a little bit over the last couple of seasons. I think the important thing for Michigan State here was get a younger guy who is comfortable and eager to navigate the portal era. And I was happy when Tom Izzo came out and said that was the intention. I think that's clear that was the intention between the candidates. When you had Maurice Joseph, you had Tum Tum, you had Thomas Kelly, and then you had your boy Chris Fowler. I think, honestly, being objective, picking between those guys is just personal preference. Like some people probably would have liked to see Tum Tum because he's the most recent player and that's a fun name. Some people definitely would have liked to see Chris Fowler. Some people definitely were pulling for TK. I think they all would have done a great job doing what Michigan State needs from this spot. So I that's no shade to the other guys, but I'm happy they got Thomas Kelly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a situation where all three of the candidates, I think, were something that the buzzwords that we were thinking when we were thinking a new assistant, someone young, someone eager, someone to work the portal, just inject a little bit of life to the program. So, yeah, look at this positive Michigan State stuff. Good job.
Why do you think it hasn't been announced yet?
I don't know, probably like terms and conditions stuff, send it to the legal team, get that all read over. Also, did you see that Maurice Joseph, one of the guys whose names was thrown in there, actually got added to Butler's staff? So Thad Matta.
Did see that.
Doing his thing. Look at that.
Daddy Thad?
No. All right. The daddy and coach's thing dies.
I need to stop calling coach's dad.
Yes.
Dad? Okay. Got it. Can I call Izzo grandpa?
No.
Are you sure?
What are you calling Juwan? What are you calling Juwan then?
I don't know. He's like a family friend more than anything right now. Like I enjoy seeing him, but he scares me a little.
So like the family friend that you call uncle, but it's like he's not actually your uncle, but he's at every event.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. He's stirring something up. Like he's trying to go like punch my cousin's boyfriend Joel. NBA. Jayson Tatum is on some crazy levels of corny bullshit right now. I'd really like to talk this through with you. You've been a Tatum defender all playoffs. We've been avoiding this conversation. I think we had a heated debate about Tatum early in the playoffs. We've been trolling each other via text all playoff run. But here's where I draw the line, Cart. Whether you like Jayson Tatum or not, we all agree he's a great player. He's a star. He's taken the Celtics to the finals and been the best player on this run. He is now doing Io DeSumo levels of cringe corniness. And there's no denying that that's true. And that goes against everything that you and I stand for. He's mimicking Kobe Bryant championship poses around an MVP conference finals individual tiny trophy and texting a dead person before the game just so he can share it on Instagram. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's weird to me that the sharing it on Instagram is just kind of weird to me. Like sending that text and sharing on Instagram, just a little bit odd to me. You know how I feel about Jayson Tatum. I'll defend Jayson Tatum to the death. I think he's on track to be a top 10 NBA player. He's one of the younger players in our league. I think he gets disrespected a lot, especially by you. Needs to stop. Last week, Greg texted me something like, I don't know what the conversation was, but it involved the wording, and maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong here, G. I mean, you take out like that 40-point game he has, and he's just abysmal. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't know, man. You cut off my balls, I won't be a man. Like, what?
So my thing has always been Jayson Tatum can't be the number one option on an NBA championship winning team.
He literally might be. Your agenda might die in 2 weeks.
It's on a cliff. It's on a cliff right now. But I stand by the agenda, and part of that reasoning, Cart, is because he's not consistent enough. He doesn't go, even if he averages 26 for a series, he doesn't score 26 every game. He scores like 18, 20, 22, 50, 18, 20. And like, it doesn't tell the full story when you read the numbers with him. Like, for example, they were up 13 points with 3 minutes left. Jayson Tatum didn't attempt a shot in the final 3 minutes, and Jimmy Butler had a wide open three to send his ass home. And we never see the text to dead Kobe Bryant if that happens. Like,
Jayson Tatum is in the NBA Finals. Jayson Tatum is 23 years old.
He's incredibly fortunate that he's in the NBA Finals. But yes,
Jayson Tatum is not even in his prime yet.
It's very true. He has a lot of growing left to do if he's going to get to what you're claiming he already is.
He might be what you're claiming he's not in 2 weeks.
I mean, look, Jaylen Brown's sidekick has had a good playoff run.
Oh, cut the malarkey.
Yeah. Can we, I just can't believe you're really out here standing for a dude that's this cringy, though. I can't.
It's cringy, but I'm not gonna stand here and deny the basketball facts.
This is just so against who you are and who I thought you were, and it's honestly driving a stake through our relationship. He wears a purple and gold armband. He plays for the Celtics. How is an entire fan base letting him get away with this?
Yeah, I mean, because he's the MVP of the finals and he led them to the NBA Finals.
There's great meme potential with that screenshot of the text he sent Kobe, by the way. I had a couple cooked up that I just can't tell if they're like too inappropriate to share, because I don't want to minimalize Kobe's.
Greg, they are.
Well,
Greg.
All right.
I know you. They are.
All right, fine.
But just know, prepare something now for when the Tatum agenda dies, because I got Celtics in 6, by the way.
That's a good transition into the NBA Finals. You have the Celtics in 6. Talk me through, what games do they win in that series?
I think they're going to get one of those first 2.
And then they're going to just serve at home all series?
No, I think it's going to go 2-2.
And then they're going to rattle off. So you think they're going to win 2 at Golden State?
No. I think that let's say it goes like this. They win the first game, right, at Golden State.
Yep.
Because they'd be at Golden State the first game, right?
Correct.
Lose second one. They go down 2-1, tied up 2-2. And then they rattle off 2 straight after that.
But that path means they would win 2 games at Golden State of 3. And I cannot see that happening.
I do see that. I think that this Celtics team can match up with this Warriors team.
I just feel like Robert Williams is going to get played off the floor like every big.
If he gets played off the floor, that's fine. They got Al Horford. Put Al Horford at the 5.
I mean, that is a matchup for sure. I think the Celtics match up better with Golden State than any team they've played on this run.
The Warriors have not played anybody yet.
I disagree hardcore with that. I really hate the narrative that Boston's looked the most impressive this playoffs or has had the hardest path. I just don't see any of that. They would have been
the Warriors play the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic and absolutely nobody else. They play the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies lose Ja Morant. They play.
I hate doing this with every team, though. Injuries are part of the game. The Bucks lost Chris Middleton, and it still went 7. Like, at least the Warriors are taking care of shit in 5 or 6 games every series.
Celtics went on the road and won in Miami in a game 7,
and half Miami was hurt. Like, I don't like playing the injury game because every team, both these teams have played, has been injured, literally, all 3. So
you got Warriors in 4. So you got Warriors in 4.
I have the Warriors in 5. I think the Warriors are way better. I think they have championship DNA. Clearly, it's a new era. Jordan Poole is going to make a massive difference in this series. I've heard people saying that Peyton Pritchard is going to make things hard on Jordan Poole. Good luck with that. They have the best player. I think they have the best, arguably 3 players in the series. Golden State does. I think they win in 5, and I think they lose game 4 basically in blowout fashion intentionally and take care of business at home.
Could we make a sleepers? Can I bet you that this goes longer than 5 games?
Sure. But I want to think on it. I don't want to do anything on camera right now. We need to talk about that separately. We have some time. I can't believe, man, why the Celtics. But last thing, the Celtics are clearly happy to be here. They're crying. Al Horford's sprawled out on the ground in tears.
Al Horford's been playing in the NBA for 17 years and has never made the finals.
Have you seen that clip of Kobe where they're like, Kobe, you're up 2-0 in the finals. Where's the smile? He goes, job not done. What the hell am I supposed to be happy about? Jayson should maybe learn from his idol a little bit. Maybe don't pull the tears and the dead texts and the happy and the crying, blah, 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 blah. You got a job to do. Golden State knows they have a job to do. Boston's just ecstatic to be there. Final thing, Cart, Jabari Smith. Weird segue. There's been a lot of slander to Jabari Smith online lately. Our colleague, Ant Wright, specifically, not to single him out, but let's single him out, has been comparing him to Davis Bertans.
And Cedi Osman.
And then he wonders why Auburn fans are upset with him. I would like to point out Ant did a very, very nicely done scouting report video on his channel in which he compares Jabari Smith to Jayson Tatum, which is the exact comparison I gave when we did Drunk Scouts. Mm-hmm. Jayson Tatum is a good comparison for Jabari Smith. Davis Bertans and Cedi Osman are not. I am a little curious why in his actual scouting report video, he compared him to Jayson Tatum. And now on Twitter, he's comparing him to these bums. But the Jabari Smith slander has to stop, right?
Yeah, I don't get it. You from everything that you see when you watch Jabari Smith play in college, and to take the words out of your mouth, Greg, I think I literally remember texting you halfway through the season, during an Auburn game. And you're just this guy is a future NBA all-star. This guy is a guy who's going to be able to score at the next level. You could pencil him in for a 20-point score at the next level. Who's going to stop him if he's able to shoot the ball at a high 40% clip from 3 and be able to catch the ball in the mid-post ISO and shoot over anybody or make a move to go score, and his jumper is perfect. And he was doing this all in the second half of the season. I think he had inept guard play, which I think hurt him as well. He didn't get many easy buckets. I think he'll be able to get some easy buckets at the next level. He'll learn that eventually. But I feel like we're in that period right now that you kind of said, there's not a lot going on. The lottery's over. The finals are starting. Now we got a 20-day period until the draft starts. And guys start moving. Opinions change on guys without them even doing anything. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's just a time now. And discussions are going to happen. Guys are going to shoot up draft boards. Fuck it. For all we know, Dyson Daniels is going to be the number 1 pick by the time we get to that date. It's just that period where things start moving and people basically are just, there's nothing going on. So they're making something happen, I feel like.
Movement is good for Detroit, by the way. I tagged the Houston Rockets and the Sacramento Kings last week and was just just so y'all know, Paolo doesn't love basketball and he can't call Ubers. Like, let's get some movement.
Paolo's an awful. I'm about to Photoshop a picture of Paolo like kicking a puppy or something. Like, you guys want to draft this guy?
I do. I honestly think Paolo's going to fall, but we can talk about that elsewhere. Yeah, you're right. It's just like an echo chamber right now. I don't see how Jabari can miss. I really don't. And I think the stuff about him not being able to get to the rim off the dribble is really overblown. He's a full year younger than Chet Holmgren, like a full year younger than Chet Holmgren. He's a full year younger than Jaden Ivey. Like, if you want to look me in the eyes and tell me Jaden Ivey's a better player than Jabari Smith, was Jaden Ivey a year ago a better player than Jabari Smith? Because that's how young Jabari Smith is right now. And a year from now, like, God forbid, if Jabari Smith came back to school like Jaden Ivey did, can you imagine what he looks like? Like, he's just, I truly think he's generational. And yeah, he can't do a ton off the dribble and finish at the rim right now. He wasn't killing, but like Walker Kessler's fat ass was standing in the paint at all times. He wasn't going to drive into traffic anyway. Like, if you talk about spacing, helping guys like Jaden Ivey, that helps Jabari Smith too. So I don't know. I think I'm the only person on earth who thinks the top 3 in this draft are all like 1A superstars. I strongly feel that way though. Like, I think all 3 of these guys are decade-long all-stars.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Chet and Jabari. I haven't got there on Paolo yet.
Okay. We're overdue for another Drunk Scouts. Maybe we can do Paolo next and work through some things together on that one.
And I'll get drunk enough to explain to you that I still think Paolo might end up being Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, Cart, we're a few minutes long. I apologize for that. Thank you as always, my friend.
Wait, we're a few minutes long? No.
Any final words?
We never do that.
Could you please address the Daddy Brad fans one more time out there? I bet we have some Daddy Brad fans listening to this episode. What do you have to say to Daddy Brad fans?
My actual father coached a youth team one time, and he went to the Sweet 16. So you got to earn that daddy title. And I'm not calling him. Even if they do, I'm not calling another man daddy. Let's just throw that out there.
You never called Luther daddy?
No. Come on, baby. 6'7".
Appreciate y'all listening. Click that subscribe button. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.